What's up, everybody? This is the Sports League Podcast, back for another week. I'm your host, Alex Leak. We got Dean back on the show. Dean, great to have you back.
Yeah, thank you. I'm really glad to be back. It's been a little while, huh?
Yeah, absolutely. Real quick, is I can edit this. Is the audio lined up when I speak? Is it lined up?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
All right, just
fine.
wanted to make sure. Yours is a little choppy at times, but I think I don't know, it's pretty good for the most part.
You're
All
hearing me
right.
okay, right?
Huh?
Are you hearing me all right?
Yeah, there we go. It started out a little choppy, but that it's looking better, so it should be fine.
No, I hope so.
Yeah. All right, yeah. We got the playoffs set. They chose their 12 teams and we're getting ready for that. The bowl season, the college football season's coming to an end, but it's just getting to really the best time of the year, huh?
Yeah, it's kind of like you go back to the March Madness. There's a season at the end that is just more drawing than the whole season.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and even though the season is short for college football, um, and I think the regular season does mean a lot more. It's still the last part that really grabs everybody's attention.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's plenty of conversation about, your Notre Dame Fighting Irish and Texas has some beef and BYU and some different schools, that believe they should be in or whatever. So there's lots to talk about with that. But first, I want to get your thoughts on Indiana. I mean, back-to-back years of just incredible football. I can't remember. I mean, they're 13 and 0. They beat number one championship. I can't remember a time Indiana football has been this good. Can you?
No, no, never. This is just, I don't even know how you explain the turnaround, really. I mean, I don't know how you could imagine this scenario ever.
Yeah. And Kurt Signetti's done such a good job in his few years there. He's really turned them around. What do you think he's done? How do you think he's had so much success so quickly at Indiana? Like, that's not a school you would think, is capable of being that good, but he's just getting it done.
Well, I think a couple of things. He uh, he he was really a very good coach in a lower division. JMU, he had JMU winning championship after championship.
Hmm.
So I mean, he proved that he could coach and he could pull in some good talent. And his program, whatever it is overall, pretty solid. So
Yeah,
I think he had proven that he can coach and put a good program together on that level.
yeah.
Um, and but coming to this level, I don't know that anybody ever expected it, but
Hmm.
he did bring along a bunch of his JMU players.
Yeah,
So I think that helped a lot. They know him. Um, they were able to, I think, support and help teach the other players what this guy was all about.
yeah. And last year when they made the playoffs and they got knocked out in the first round by Notre Dame, I thought that was like their peak. Like they had a great year. They made the college football playoff. It was a cool story. But for them to come back and do it a second year in a row, go undefeated, win the Big Ten, beat Ohio State, that's such a statement. Like, hey, we're not a 1 year wonder. We're here for real. We're not going away. And Fernando Mendoza, I mean, he's getting a lot of hype right now, and he's expected to be the number one pick or the top quarterback to go in the NFL draft. So it's incredible what they've done over there.
Yeah, um, I really do think that he has more than overachieved in his first year, but this is far beyond what again anyone would imagine that he would be able to repeat and improve.
Yeah,
It's astounding what he's done, and I don't really think yet people believe in Indiana.
yeah,
I still think there's people out there that doesn't think Indiana's going to really be that good throughout the playoffs.
yeah.
Uh,
They're gonna have to keep proving it. But I mean, beating number one Ohio State was huge. They went to Eugene and beat Oregon. I mean, that's a huge win on the road. So they keep proving people wrong on a week to week basis. They've got some good weapons. The one thing that worries me is defensive end Stephen Daly. Uh, a freak accident. He's high fiving fans in the stands and tweaks his leg, and he's out for the playoffs. I mean, that's terrible luck.
yeah, and those freak accidents. I remember there was a field goal kicker that did that. He kicked the field goal and then he started dancing around and messed his leg up. he,
Yeah,
he was done for the rest of the season. It's like you better not just celebrate, just go back and sit down.
yeah. No, I remember a Bears player did that. He celebrated a sack and like tore his ACL on the celebration. It's like, man.
Yeah, yeah, that's pretty rare, but it does happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, that won't be good for him.
Yeah, I mean, he's leading the team in tackles for loss. He's been a monster, so that's gonna hurt, but we'll see if they can keep it going. Like I said, Fernando Mendoza, it looked like he got hurt early in that Ohio State, the Big Ten championship game, but he
Yeah,
came back
yeah,
and played through it and got the job done. So he seems tough and,
yeah, he was down. I
yeah,
mean, there was a lot of real concern there.
yeah,
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 once he got up, it was like, man, I wonder if he's going to be able to come back.
yeah.
What
But
grit? Yeah,
yeah, for sure. Toughness, grit, and did enough to get the win. Ohio State at number two. And do you feel like I feel like Ohio State should have dropped more than one spot? They put such an emphasis on the conference championship game. I would say if you get there and you lose, that should hurt you just as much as it benefits you to win it, right?
I don't know what goes through the minds of these guys. Honestly, Alex, I mean, I can discuss how I feel about the whole thing, but I don't understand half what they did
Yeah,
the whole time that they were putting these lists together. Um,
yeah,
I don't know. I mean, you can't. I
yeah.
don't know. You couldn't drop them too far. I mean,
I
but yeah, I would think that they would drop behind Georgia. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. At least I would drop them to three or four. You can't drop them too far, but a little bit more than one spot.
Well, it's like Alabama. They didn't drop either.
No, and
It's
Alabama
like
absolutely should have. Ohio State was actually at least close. Alabama wasn't even close
yeah,
against Georgia.
yeah. So I mean, I don't know how they think. I
Yeah.
really don't. And almost to the point where I don't believe they think.
And it's so weird because it's felt like there's an SEC bias and an Alabama bias for a long time.
Oh yeah.
Um,
Oh
but
yeah.
then if Ohio State loses, if there's an SEC bias, you would expect Georgia to jump them. Georgia at two makes a ton of sense to me, a lot more than Ohio State at two.
Yeah, I agree with that.
But Ohio State is talented. I mean, they've got so many big names on that roster. Julian Sayin, Jeremiah Smith, Carnell Tate, Caleb Downs, Arvell Reese. I
Yeah.
mean, most of these guys I know because they're coming up in the draft process. They're going to be in the NFL next year.
Yeah.
Uh, just loaded with talent, but
Yeah,
um,
they're going to be tough to handle no matter where they're positioned.
Yeah, for sure. And maybe kicking is an issue. I mean, Jaden Fielding missing that
Yeah,
27-yarder in the Big Ten championship game, that should have been an easy kick, you
yeah,
know?
yeah. That blew everybody's mind, I'm sure.
Yeah, yeah. Um, Georgia at 3, they, 28-7, they got revenge on Alabama for losing to them earlier in the season. So then they kind of kicked their butt in the SEC championship game. They beat Ole Miss, Texas, and Alabama down the stretch. So I didn't think Georgia was playing their best football earlier in the season, but they seem to be hitting on all cylinders now going into the playoffs. They're a real threat to win the whole thing this year, I think.
Yeah, during the season, the regular season, they were right on the verge of losing ball games,
Hmm.
but pulled them out. So I mean, the bottom line is getting the win,
Yes.
and they found a way to win, and that's impressive.
Yeah.
Um, other teams can get you down, but if you can come back and win that ball game, that says a lot about the guts that your team has.
Yeah. And I think Gunnar Stockton's been improving too. The same way the team has, he has been. He wasn't anywhere near what he is now last year in the playoffs. He's developed and gotten a lot better, right?
Yes.
So
Yeah.
Kirby Smart, doing his magic over there. They got Zachariah Branch from USC. Kristen Miller's really good. So they're going to be a threat for sure. They're going to be tough to beat, whoever has to face them.
Yes.
Um, Texas Tech, they win the Big 12 championship. They beat BYU twice this season by a combined 63-14. Do you think that's what the committee looks at? Is like, I mean, BYU was a pretty good team and they destroyed them in the biggest games this year, right?
Yeah, they dominated basically, as far as I'm concerned, the whole season. Really,
Yeah.
um, I'm not really going down through their full list of competition. Um, um, I don't. I don't. I put them in the categories Indiana. I wonder,
Yeah.
um, but not as much as. I mean, I wonder more about them than I do Indiana. But
Yeah.
there's too much question to me in my mind with that team. So
Yeah.
I don't know how they're going to do.
Well, if you remember last year when it was Boise State, it was
Mhm.
Arizona State. We had questions about them then too. It's like just because you won your conference, how are you going to match up against the best teams in the country, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. So Texas Tech will have to prove it to us. Are they a pretty good defense? I know they've got Romello Height.
Yes.
They got David Bailey. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I
Yeah.
think that's their main strength.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I did watch the highlights of their one loss at Arizona State, and the defense couldn't make a clutch stop. They took a late lead and couldn't stop Arizona State. So it'll be important to see how their defense plays against the top teams in this playoff.
Yeah. That's the key.
Yeah,
That's what it's going to take is their defense.
yeah. Um, so yeah, they'll be interesting to watch for sure. Oregon at number 5, 11-1. Their only loss was to Indiana, 30-20, but they've won 6 in a row since then. They're going to be playing James Madison in the first round. They've got a lot of talent, especially on offense with Dante Moore, Noah Whittington, Kenyon Sadiq. How do you feel about that game? This is the matchups we've always wanted to see. Is we want to see a team like James Madison get an opportunity. They got to play Oregon in Eugene. That's an awfully tough matchup. Do you think James Madison can hang with them, or do you think Oregon will take care of business?
James Madison played very good,
Hmm.
and did well in their conference and everything. But this is a different level of football.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to say that um, I wouldn't want to be James Madison.
Yeah.
I would not want to go to Oregon and face the Ducks. I think this is going to be a blowout.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do.
People are going to definitely tune in and watch at least the beginning. If it gets ugly early, then all right, this is what we expected. But they want to see, how does James Madison match up, though.
Yeah, it's still an interesting story, and I
Mhm.
hope I'm wrong. I really hope that they prove me to not know anything about football. You
Yeah.
know, I really do. I hope they just play lights out and give them at least a real good battle. I
Hmm.
would love that,
Yeah.
but I just don't expect it.
Yeah, you got pro level talent. Dante Moore and Kenyon Sadiq, they're both first round picks in the draft next year. So, you
Yes.
expect the talent to win out. Uh, so we'll see how Oregon does. I mean, at number 5, that Oregon, I think, is a team that some people believe can go on a deep playoff run and potentially go to a championship. Do you believe that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do. I think
Uh,
so. Yeah, they're really talented. So
yeah. I'd
I
love to
mean,
see a
I
matchup.
really think that when Indiana went there to play them, I can't imagine Oregon thought that much of them.
Yeah.
And if you're not really up and ready to play football, you can get knocked off.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just wonder with the psyche of the team. Indiana's coming, big deal,
Hmm.
and got surprised
You
because
see
they
that
put
a lot in sports and in
yeah,
football. It's natural to kind of like look past certain teams and be like, that's the same old Indiana, that's the same old team, and then they surprise you.
yeah, yeah. I mean, Oregon responded from that and did very well since, but yeah,
Yeah.
you can get caught off guard, and you know, but yeah, they're a good team. They could advance.
I think Oregon and their fans would love the opportunity for a rematch against Indiana at some point.
Wouldn't they though? Yeah,
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 that'd be cool.
yeah. They sure would.
um, Ole Miss at 6, and Ole Miss is an interesting case because their head coach Lane Kiffin leaves for the LSU job. That's got to be so interesting and so difficult for the players to have your coach leave right before the playoffs, right? That's uncharted territory.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how he could ever explain it to them
Yeah.
at
What's
all.
your What's your thoughts as a college football fan? You've been following the sport for so long to see this era where coaches just bail like that, you know?
But that's his MO.
Yeah.
That's nothing new. He's been at, I think, Ole Miss for the longest period of time that he's with anybody.
Mm-hmm.
So, um, and he developed quite a program,
Yeah.
and they hadn't, they were just going to get better and better. I thought.
Yeah.
Um, I don't know. He's impatient.
Yeah.
My thinking is that he doesn't really believe in Ole Miss.
Yeah.
Doesn't he didn't believe that that team could go all the way. And
And
so he had an opportunity to go to another program that probably has a better shot. And so
it's
took
just
it.
it's just interesting because you're the 6th seed going into the playoffs. I mean, you could win it all this year. I know
Yes,
it. You might not believe in it, but the grass isn't always greener on the other side. Brian Kelly found that out firsthand.
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I don't know. It's confusing to me that you would be drawn away that easily
Mm-hmm.
when you've got a good program going and you got a shot.
Yeah,
I mean, why not write it out and then see what happens?
exactly.
You're still probably going to get another opportunity if you don't want to stay there.
Yeah, he's one of the biggest names in the whole sport. He's going to get opportunities.
Yeah,
You know,
I
he
don't know.
he could have stayed, finished the college football playoff, and probably been first in line to go to Michigan. You know,
Yeah, or
so
other ones. There's some pretty good openings right now.
yeah, I
I
don't
don't
know.
know, but I think everybody's confused. Other than he must have been longing for that job for a
Yeah,
long time,
yeah,
and the opportunity came, and he jumped on it.
yeah,
And that's the only thing I can think, because it can't be that much. I mean, he's already rich. You didn't need that big contract.
yeah.
So I don't know. That's confusing. I wish him okay in his next round of coaching.
Yeah.
I'm not going
It's
to be. I'm not. I won't be pulling for him.
it's funny in college football, everyone talks about now the players are so wishy-washy and will transfer and all this stuff. Now you got the coaches doing the same thing.
Yeah, yeah,
So,
yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know how many of his assistants he took with him, but uh, Ole Miss is going to be. I, I think if they can, I think the defensive coordinator Golding will probably keep this thing together.
yeah, it's
And
a great
I think
opportunity
they'll be
for
all right.
him.
What's
Yeah,
that?
it's a great opportunity for him to take over and coach to the playoffs and see if he can, get it go on a deep run at least.
Yeah, find out whether it was it the coach or was it the players.
Yeah,
Well, the
exactly.
players have a lot to prove in
Yeah.
this tournament.
And
I'm
that's
pulling for
something
them. I hope they do well.
Yeah, that's something that can galvanize a locker room. They can rally around that. Oh, coach doesn't believe in us. We could go win a national championship right now and and stick it to the coach who left.
That would be so good. You
That
know,
would
that would be the story of the year.
be.
Yeah. And it's possible. That's the thing.
Yep. Yeah, they've got talent. Trinidad Chambliss, the quarterback, Kilwan Lacey, the running back, and
Yeah.
they'll play Tulane in the first round, December 20. How do you feel about that matchup? Do you think Tulane can give Ole Miss problems?
Well, they didn't last time. They played them earlier this season.
Okay, this is a rematch.
They beat Tulane back in, I think it was September, 45-10.
Wow.
So this is a rematch. And why they
Okay.
made a rematch in this tournament like that is beyond me. That was stupid.
Yeah.
But no, Tulane doesn't have a chance with Ole Miss. It's going to be
Yeah,
another
it's like
45-10.
if we've already seen it once this year, why are we going to see it again? Like that's why the committee doesn't make sense sometimes. It's like you could be a little bit more imaginative with these matchups.
You would think. I guess not. The first time when I first saw that, I went, "Whoa, whoa, wait a minute! That game's already been played."
Unless Tulane's itching for a rematch and they want revenge, I don't know.
No, well, Tulane doesn't belong there. I'm sorry to say that.
Don't you do you think so? Is there any case for Notre Dame making it in over Tulane, or is it because they won their championship, their conference?
It's the way it's set up. They
Yeah.
give the nod to these other conferences, um, and you can't do that. They got to do away with all the guarantee stuff. It's got to be gone. You just take the top 12 or something,
Yeah.
and stop this nonsense. You know,
Do you think is that their way of trying to force Notre Dame's hand into a conference?
oh, I'm sure. Probably some thoughts are like that. I don't know if all of them think that way, but they wouldn't be the only group that would feel that way. There's a lot of people who don't like the idea that Notre Dame gets looked at differently than everybody else.
But they bring in Notre Dame brings in so much money. That's another part of it too, right? And it's the fact that these conferences want that money to come in and the ratings and everything that comes with it.
Yeah, well, until you get to the point where you don't need the conference,
Yeah.
as long as you don't need the conference, why would you go to a conference?
Yeah.
Um, they're just fine being where they are.
Yeah.
I think other teams would like to do that, but they wouldn't survive by themselves.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, you got your own basic TV uh, guarantees, and I mean, they just got so much going for them that they don't need to be in a conference.
Yeah.
Now that affects your schedule,
Yeah.
um, but even at that, they're not going to make them do it. I never foresee Notre Dame joining a conference.
The issue with for me is like I just wish there was more common sense and like for Notre Dame, they don't need to join a conference, but let's stop taking away these rivalry matchups. Like USC is trying not to play that matchup going forward. Notre Dame doesn't need to be in a conference, but I would make sure every year let's play the rivalries. Let's have USC on the schedule, Michigan State, Michigan. Uh, you know, Clemson's become a good rivalry. You can put good games in there and still, I don't know. I just hate the fact that Notre Dame, Michigan don't play every year. And Notre Dame, Michigan State was the first game I ever went to, and that was the walk off fake field goal. Like you can't beat those games, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think that's the problem that Notre Dame does have because they're not in a conference. Um, they've got to work out a schedule with other conferences,
Yeah,
and they got to have an opening. You know, uh, you can't force your way into the program if it doesn't work. But
yeah,
yeah, I agree that, and I think Notre Dame has tried to do that. They kept USC.
yeah.
I'm sad to hear that they're afraid to continue. You
Well, and
know, that's sad.
their excuse was like, oh, all the traveling. It's like you're playing in the Big Ten now. Like you,
Yes,
what are you talking about?
yes. Yeah, you could go all the way to New Jersey. Come on.
Yeah. I don't
Yeah,
know.
that's foolishness. They just don't want to get their butts beat by Notre Dame. That hurt.
Yeah,
That hurts.
yeah,
That's why they don't want to do that. I hope that doesn't come to being a non-scheduled game. That would be awful.
yeah, exactly. But best of luck to Pete Golding and Ole Miss. They
Yes,
should be able to take care of Tulane, and then we'll see how far they can go in this playoffs. Um, Texas A&M sitting at 7. Their only loss came to at Texas, 27-17. They're going to host number 10 Miami in the first round. Texas A&M's got some talent too. I didn't think they were going to be as good as they were, but they really are. And but Miami's a tough test, and I think Miami's capable of winning that game too. Do you?
yes, I do. I mean, yeah. Um, the sad thing is, though, that they actually they lost to Texas.
Yeah,
I mean that one really wasn't. I know it's a rivalry,
yeah,
but still, Texas has been down,
yeah,
and and I don't think that was a good end for A&M.
yeah,
Makes me question them.
yeah,
Really does. I find it interesting that the two teams that Notre Dame struggled with are playing each other.
yeah,
One of them's going to get knocked off by one of the other. I think that's
yeah.
pretty cool. But yeah, I think Miami's got the better talent, even though they're not rated as high. I think they're better. I really do.
Yeah, I think they're very capable of going in there and winning. If it was up to me, I'd probably pick Miami, and I trust the quarterback, um, Carson Beck. I think that he's built for like these big playoff type games, and I think he'll be the best quarterback on the field in that matchup.
Yeah. Yeah,
So,
I think so.
um, then number 8, Oklahoma. They lost at home twice to Texas and Ole Miss. They're on a 4-game winning streak though, and they're going to host number 9 Alabama. But they beat Alabama, right? This is a rematch.
Yes.
So that's going to be interesting. The rematch, and Alabama wants revenge, uh, losing 23-21, and that was a great game. That was a hard fought game
It
when they
was.
played the first time.
Yeah, that was a fantastic ball game, yes.
I
But
could
yeah.
easily Alabama with 3 losses shouldn't even be in the playoff. Yet they're talented, and I could easily see Alabama winning this game.
Um, yeah. Well, I'd only agree with you because I don't think Oklahoma's all that great.
Okay.
So that to me, that's almost a toss up. Um,
Yeah.
but I'm going to go back and say, why are we scheduling a playoff game of a game that's already been played?
Yeah, I know.
I mean, I still don't. Yeah, it's interesting. It's very interesting, but I don't think that's smart to replay another a game unless it comes through the system, as they win and it happens. Okay, but the very first game you schedule is a game you already played.
Yeah, and I think it's way less important the seeding as opposed to the matchups.
Yes,
Yeah.
I agree.
And that's
Absolutely.
the entire point of the playoff is to get matchups we wouldn't normally see. So we should be, we should be building the playoffs in that fashion.
I agree. That's why I say you take the top 12, but the only involvement would have with people would be the matchups.
Yeah,
Make them make
exactly.
sense.
Yeah.
That don't be picking who's in, but just put them where they should be.
Yeah.
That's all we need from you.
Yeah. And you could even, I mean, yeah, you could even reseed it or not even
Yeah,
reseed it, but like re look at it each round, get the
yeah,
best matchups every week.
right.
I don't know.
Yeah, well, we're not involved, so that ain't going to happen, is it?
Yeah. Common sense doesn't seem to be involved either.
No.
But
Sure.
John Mateer, R. Mason Thomas is going to be coming up through the draft. John Mateer is a good quarterback, but yeah,
Yeah,
I agree with you. I think I give Alabama the edge in this matchup, and especially with a rematch where they lost the first one. I think Alabama wins the second one. So
I do too. Yeah.
yeah. Um, but again, Alabama, they're the 9 seed. I don't know why. I don't know why they didn't fall. They were the 9 seed going in.
Yep.
They lost 28-7. It wasn't even close to Georgia. And I think the committee should look at that matchup and say Georgia's a contender. They're a true playoff team. Alabama doesn't match up against them. It
Right.
wasn't close. So why are we keeping Alabama in the playoffs? It doesn't make sense to me. Plus the 3 losses.
Yeah. Again, these are guys that are thinking. Um, I don't know what they're thinking. I mean, you look back. We talked about it. Ohio State dropped one position.
Yep.
Okay, and that was a good ball game.
Yeah.
But they dropped one spot because they lost, and Alabama loses bad, and they don't drop anything.
Yeah.
It just there's no common sense there at all. It makes zero sense that they wouldn't at least drop one spot.
Yeah. At least one, if not two,
Yeah, should be
borderline.
should be two. Yeah,
Yeah. And then with the 3 losses, in my opinion, there shouldn't be a 3-loss team in the playoff. There
no,
really
no,
shouldn't.
no. I agree.
And the fact that it's Alabama leads me to believe that there's people in that committee that are Alabama alums, in my opinion. We've been considering this fact for a long time because Alabama's always gotten favorable rankings and the benefit of the doubt for a long time.
Yeah,
Nick Saban's I mean, Nick Saban was the best coach in the country. He's not there anymore. So why are we still awarding Alabama now? They're not the same team that they used to be, in my
No,
opinion.
no, it's obvious. It's more than your opinion. We could see it on the field. They were not the usual Alabama.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So I
I
don't
don't
get
understand. No, I don't know. It's a big mystery to me.
it. Yeah.
I mean, I've tried. I've gone through schedules and compared all that stuff, and I don't know how you can say that they should be there. I don't. I don't know how you can do it.
Yeah. I say it on the NFL podcast all the time. It's like my phrase. I'm like, you know what really grinds my gears? And in this case, it's Alabama getting into the playoff. That's what really grinds my gears. Nick Saban's not there anymore. Let's stop treating him like Nick Saban's still the coach. Let's
Yeah.
get them out of here and get some teams in here that deserve it, like Notre Dame. I mean, there's a couple different teams that could have made it. But Notre Dame, I mean, it doesn't make sense. Notre Dame, I get it. They lost. They started 0-2. That's a terrible start. But they didn't slip up at all since then. They're on a 10-game winning streak. They've dropped 70 on teams, you know? And the fact that Notre Dame wasn't supposed to be a contender last year, quote unquote, like they weren't expected to be. They get in and they run the table and get to the national championship game. And that was a great national championship game against Ohio State. So they
Yes,
proved that
well,
they can win in the playoffs, that they're capable of going on a deep run. So why aren't they back in it? It doesn't make any sense to me.
yeah, and they just don't want to remember that the two losses were against two highly rated teams.
Exactly. Two playoff teams.
Yeah, that are in the playoffs. You
Yeah.
know, I
So
mean, you can't say that about Alabama.
yeah. So
So I don't know. I
I don't
mean,
know either. It doesn't make a lot of sense. But
well, it's a big uproar now. I mean, you know that.
well, and then one of Alabama's losses was to Florida State. I
Yes.
mean, what are we doing?
Yeah, I mean, you talk about a horrible loss. I mean,
Yeah.
at least Notre Dame beat the teams that they were supposed to beat from then on,
Yeah.
and and then they end up losing the really.
I just don't
I
know
don't
how you
know.
can.
The resume isn't there to me. That's all there is to it.
Yeah. I don't know how you can't see the bias in this one. Like it
Uh,
seems obvious to me.
yeah, me too.
Miami in at number 10. They lost to Louisville and at SMU, but on a 4-game winning streak. Uh, Playing at Texas A&M. That's going to be a fun matchup. And yeah, I think Miami wins that one. But that's a toss up. That's a good matchup between those two teams.
Yeah, yeah, I think so too. Yeah,
So,
yeah. Well,
do you think? And
again,
well, I wanted to see Miami in the playoffs last year. I thought they got screwed last year out of it. I wanted to see Cam Ward and Miami in it. I'm glad they are in it this year. But and I think they're capable of winning at least one, if not two games. We'll see how far they go. But I'm glad to see Miami in it. That's my point.
well, you want the top best 12 teams, right?
Yes.
Well, you got to admit that they are.
Yeah.
So they should be in there.
Yeah.
But I
Um,
mean, their schedule wasn't any better, easier. Any. If you want to compare Notre Dame and Miami, I mean, you know, Miami, they beat number 11. That was Notre Dame.
yeah.
That's the only rated team they actually beat.
Yeah.
And all the rest of them they won, they won, convincingly, but then they end up losing to Louisville and SMU.
Yeah.
And it's like, I mean, what kind of a resume is that?
Yeah.
Compare the losses there. You're
Yeah.
kidding me. You lose to two rated teams or you
Yeah.
lose to two unrated teams. That
Yeah.
ought to tell you right away which one belongs.
Yeah.
So, but that doesn't say that Miami doesn't belong, because I do think they do. It's
No,
just they just did the wrong thing.
Yeah, I think Miami and Notre Dame should have both been in. I think the one team in here that shouldn't be is Alabama. I really,
Yeah,
And
yeah,
then at nine, of all places, at nine, like
yeah.
doesn't make a lot of sense to me there.
No, it won't. It won't ever.
Um, who do you think's the worst team in here or the weakest? Is it Tulane or James Madison?
My personal opinion would be Tulane.
Yeah, I could see that too.
Yeah, um, they lost to a good team like Ole Miss,
Yeah,
um, but they also lost to a nobody.
yeah, UTSA.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's awful. You can't do
Um,
that. You can't do that.
do you think Virginia losing to Duke did that throw a big wrench in things? Do you think Virginia should be in ahead of like Tulane?
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, I do.
I would have liked to see Virginia in. That would have been cool.
Yeah, that was a freak situation.
Yeah.
You end up with Duke winning the ACC, and they still don't get into the tournament. It's like, wow,
Yeah.
what a disappointment for the ACC. It should have
Yeah.
been Miami all along, and they couldn't even do it with their two
Yeah.
losses with Louisville and SMU. It's like, wow, what a mess that conference was.
So do they do what divisions? So like that's the reason Duke made it was because they were the top team in their division. Is that why?
They won the right ball games.
Okay.
They had a worse record, but they won the right ball games to put them above the other, like Miami.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Because I hated that, and I think the Big Ten got rid of it, the divisions, right? So now, like, you can have a Michigan Ohio State Big Ten championship, right?
Yes. Well, actually, the only conference that has um, divisions, I think, is the MAC.
Okay.
That's the only conference that doesn't have just a big long list of teams.
It's taking forever, but we're slowly getting a little bit of common sense here. Like, get rid of the divisions because you want the two best teams in that conference to play for the conference
Yeah.
title.
Yeah, I'm looking here. It's not the MAC. It's the Sun Belt is the only
Okay.
one, and that was where James Madison came from.
Okay.
Okay, but that's the only conference that has the two groups.
Yeah.
So my question to you then, why is there a conference championship game?
Yeah.
What's the point? I can understand if you had East and West, North and South, broken up. You play the two together. I understand that. That makes sense.
Yeah.
But there's no conference breakup. So why are you playing number one and number two, and you end up knocking one of them out or something? Why do you do that?
Yeah.
You only
Uh,
hurt your own conference. I think it's revenue. I know it is. I mean, it's all about
yeah.
revenue, but why are you doing? You're going to hurt one of your best teams.
Yeah.
So
It's
why do it?
money controls everything, and then politics. It's not, I wish everything could just be about the football, but it's not. And especially in college football's got a lot of politics, a lot of issues.
Oh yeah, no doubt about that. But I
So that's
just think
good.
we're living in the past. I don't understand why we're doing things the old way when it's different.
Yeah. I think we'll slowly get it figured out. Because, yeah, what's the point of hurting your own conference, right?
Yeah, other than again, it's a big draw for money is all it is. I mean,
Yeah.
but you're taking the gamble that you could knock one of your teams out of the playoffs
Yep.
because you
Well,
want to play for some big money.
yep. Exactly what
Really? Is
happened
that
with
what you want to do?
ACC, right? Yeah. That's what happened to Virginia.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Right. They would be in
Yeah.
if they hadn't played that game. Yes, exactly. And
Oh,
that's my point. Why do you do that?
yeah. I don't know. So do you think that would be something to look at? Is like, do you think we should get rid of the conference championships and just put the best record in?
Yeah, and go by some kind of way of determining if they got tied records. You go through the schedule, you find out which team uh, is more warranted than the other one to be on top.
Yeah, because we've seen that a couple of years in a row now where the conference championships kind of hurt and mess up the entire process of the college football playoff of trying to figure it out. The conference championships can throw it into absolute chaos.
Yes, but
And
you can have tiebreakers. That's all you need.
yeah,
Everybody would be okay with it if it makes sense,
yeah,
and we could live with that. Then you wouldn't have to take the gamble of hurting one of your better teams.
yeah. It's definitely
Well,
an interesting debate. It's something that, everything's on the table nowadays.
yeah, I think that should be gone. I think guaranteed position spots are out. You can
Yeah,
There's no guarantees. You just go by the top 12. Period. Just
yeah,
take the top best teams. That's if it stays at 12.
yeah,
If it goes to 16, you take the top 16 teams. Period.
yeah,
None of this, well, you won your conference, you get to do this. Now, you can use that as whether it's a home game, based on where you're rated. You can
yeah,
use that could be an advantage,
yeah.
but I think I just think they need to be smarter with it and just make sure we got the best teams playing in the playoffs.
Yeah, and you'll get a lot of those matchups in the playoffs. You know that you don't need a conference championship game because you'll get that matchup potentially in the playoffs.
Yes, exactly. And that,
Yeah.
and that, and that again goes by how the selection goes.
Yeah.
Don't be stupid and have two Big Ten play each other or two
Early at least.
SEC. I mean, be smart
Yeah.
about how you put it together.
Yeah.
Yeah, it could be a whole lot better. Yeah.
Yeah. um yeah, Notre Dame and BYU, two loss teams on the outside looking in, looking at three loss Alabama, like why are they in there? Um we talked about why Notre Dame should be in there. What about BYU? They lost the Big 12 championship game. They didn't match up well with Texas Tech at all. What do you think about BYU's season? Do you think they're a playoff worthy team, or how do you look at BYU? They're talented for sure, but
I enjoyed watching them. They
yeah,
were just very, very competitive. They were just fun to watch, and
yeah,
you could never give up on them. They were amazing the whole season, and I think they're one of the best teams, but I don't know if they're one of the best 12.
yeah.
Maybe you take these other two teams out of there, and
hmm
then yeah, maybe they are.
Well, what do you think about? So someone said, um, so you got like you take the conference championships out of it. You have a top 16, but only 12 get into the playoffs. Those bottom four, you have them play like two games. You have them play each other to get in. Like the winners play, or those teams play each other, and the winners get like the final two spots of the. You have a top 10, and then the winners of those two games can get in at 11 and 12. So you have like Notre Dame, BYU, and somebody else.
Well, that's an optional type of thought,
Yeah.
to make it more interesting and have other teams still have a shot. There
Yeah.
is a week that could happen.
Yeah. That'd
There
be
is a
cool.
gap there. They could do it.
So
I,
then you get like a 16 team playoff, but it's really just 12, kind of.
yeah, Yeah, I don't have a real problem with that. I mean, that's kind of interesting, but who's going to select them? Who's going to say which teams?
Yeah.
I mean, if it's going to be these guys that sit around the table, they're going to screw it up.
And another thing is, you know how they in college football they show the behind the scenes of the instant replay. You can hear them going
Yeah,
through it.
yeah, yeah,
Wouldn't it be cool if
yeah,
they would broadcast it live and
yes,
show the breakdown so
yes.
that there's full transparency and we see why they're making the decisions that they're making?
It would change their attitudes completely.
Yeah,
If they
that would be
knew
awesome.
that everything was being heard directly, not just among themselves,
Yeah.
that would change their whole process.
And you could broadcast it, put it live, and make a bunch of money off of it.
Yeah, and you could show how they voted and all that stuff and how many times they re-voted and
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Oh, I think that would be very entertaining and very good for the sport to
Yeah.
see that that selection is legit all
Yeah.
the way. You
And
know,
in today's day and age of gambling and just all the politics and sports and everything like that, what the fans and what people want more than anything is transparency.
yes.
And I think that's the direction we're going, and that's the direction we need to go, you know. And I think it would be entertaining and it would be so much better.
Yeah, that's interesting. I hadn't thought of that part of it, but yeah, that is great in the replay. That is awesome, isn't it?
Hmm.
I
Yeah.
just love the conversation and how it's we would just say, well, they're talking about it, and then they come back and say, well, it's upheld, and you're still sitting there going, wait a minute, I didn't see what you saw, and they would look at it and they'd say, no, look at this. See, this guy has his foot in right here. See this? This is what I
Yeah.
see. Or they'll say, no, I can't see the ball. I
Yeah.
don't know.
Yeah.
And you go, okay, I can accept that. All right.
Yeah. Pe- you know, and at least I don't know, it just makes you feel better when you can hear and see the thought process.
Yeah, that it's just not one guy in the booth saying, nope.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
So that's some cool options to look at going forward. Let's look at your numbers rankings and compare it. How do you feel about the numbers? I mean, we talk about it every year. By the time it gets to the end of the season, the numbers are spot on and probably give you the best representation of where the teams are at in reality without the biases and you know politics and anything else like that. The numbers do a great job of that. How do you feel about where the numbers are at this point, you know, this year?
I'm very disappointed.
Yeah.
I mean, you look down the list, you see Notre Dame.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that. Why do you
The,
think that is?
the numbers has Notre Dame number 15.
Yeah.
And once they lost the first two ball games in the numbers, you drop down the chart like you're a rock in the water. I
Yeah.
mean, you sink, and you got to work awful hard to climb back up to get in a
Yeah.
position that you're even comparable to the rest of the teams. And I mean, those losses weren't awful, but they were losses.
Yeah.
And the numbers that drops you behind all of the teams that have won.
Yeah, it's got you down
So
there
you
at the
got
very
you got to keep chopping
bottom.
away every week to get back up there.
Yeah.
And the schedule I don't think was strong enough for them to do that.
Yeah.
That's what the number says. And like I said, I was a little surprised. I thought they would climb quicker than that. Also, I mean, they got it's got James Madison ahead of them,
That's
but they got one loss.
crazy.
They got
Huh?
one loss. That makes a difference. That one loss is big. And then
Yeah.
you got, I mean, the ones that are above them, including you even get Alabama up there. It's like, Dean, you just said they didn't belong anywhere up there, and the number says, well, they won the games they needed to win to climb.
And
Now
that's
I
the
haven't,
thing.
I haven't got my exact points numbers as far as the quantities, of
Hmm.
their points. So I don't know how close these are points wise. They may just be fractions of a point
Yes.
different.
I was talking about this with my brother, and he was saying about how if you can tweak with it and use like AI with the numbers at some point, like make an app and get where AI is a little bit involved or whatever, you could mess with it a little bit to where like an early season loss doesn't mean as much. Like the games get more impactful points wise later in the year. And then, like a conference championship game or at the end of the year means more, means has higher value in points. So those two losses early in the year for Notre Dame don't bury you as much. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. And when I saw this happen, it's like, man, they're being punished an awful lot for losing to two very good teams.
Yeah. And I
Yeah,
mean, that kind of makes sense, right? Like an early season loss shouldn't hurt you as much as a late season loss.
well, I don't know. A loss is a loss, but
Yeah.
it does matter who you lose to.
Yeah.
And I think what is missing in my numbers is that there's not still acknowledgement of that value of that team that you lost to.
Yeah. It's it's
And
very
so,
tough.
yeah,
Yeah. But
yeah,
the numbers,
that made me think because then that also applies with Alabama. Somewhere the numbers um, didn't think that those three losses were that critical, but there's an FSU on there.
exactly. Yeah.
I
Well,
mean,
but
they were truly penalized for it, but um, the thing of it is with the numbers, your loss um, varies in value from week to week because if that team that you beat or you lost to, if they move in the chart,
yeah.
so does their value.
Yeah.
So it still will move around back and forth. Um, so I don't think they got punished a whole lot for those two losses. I'll spend this winter kind of going through it a little bit and
Well,
seeing how the numbers how it felt like that.
it's the ultimate like strength of schedule, meter. And
Yeah.
maybe Notre Dame messed up. Like I think, do you think maybe they should have scheduled Miami early and Texas A&M late, like broken up their two biggest games instead of having them week one, week two?
Um, Honestly, I think some teams, some schools play it smart and they get uh, a scrimmage game first.
Yeah.
They play in nobody,
Yeah.
and then they get their team, kind of used to other competition and not just themselves.
Kind of like an early preseason game, like
Yeah,
Alabama will schedule like a UT Chattanooga or something.
yeah, yeah. And because unlike pro football, every game counts.
Uh-huh.
You don't get to practice anything. This is for real.
Yeah.
So it's almost that it's not smart to start off your first game with somebody that's could kill you, that could
Yeah.
beat you.
Yeah.
You start off with someone that you got a pretty good chance at winning, and that gets you started to get your guys, back in football mode. So yeah, back to back. I think I'm not sure about the second game. After the Miami game, you should have been ready,
Yeah.
and they were.
Yeah.
I mean, they only lost by 1 point.
Those were both two great games, highly
Yeah,
competitive. That A&M game was insane. I mean, I think they say like you can overcome an early season loss, but two losses in a row starting 0 and 2, maybe you can't overcome that. Maybe you just can't do that. I don't know. I mean, I
oh,
mean, no one's denying that Notre Dame wasn't playing a ton better, so much better football late in the
And
year.
yes, and they're good enough to beat anybody and could win the championship.
Yeah.
I don't think that's a question.
No, I mean, they're a contender
Yeah.
and they deserved the opportunity to play for it, but I don't know. I mean, even that's the thing. Even the numbers are pushing back against it, so it's gotta, it's interesting for sure.
Well, but once Notre Dame lost the 2 games, I mean, they had a hard time getting back into the top 12.
Yeah,
I mean, it was difficult. You got 2 losses, you got a whole mess of teams that have one loss. They're just not going to move them up above them when you're not beating other really good teams.
yeah,
So it was a struggle for Notre Dame to just get back that close.
yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know. I
It,
mean,
it
if
makes
that had turned out, if that game either one of those games would have turned out different, the whole scenario would be different. But that's just what happened.
I
But yeah,
think if Notre Dame had one more matchup in there, maybe late in the year, maybe a Michigan or something that was a better matchup, that would have been just enough to boost them in. But it's like for whatever reason they don't rank like who they played the rest of the year high enough to get them back in. I don't know because they were winning and they were dropping 70 on people. They were winning convincingly.
yeah. I mean, and they ended up playing Boise, who was at one time rated.
Mm-hmm.
And when they play them, they're not.
Yeah.
So you lose that. You play USC when they're not rated.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not Notre Dame's fault. It's the same team.
Yeah.
Other people beat them when they were rated and got
Yeah.
credit for it. Navy was rated at one time,
Yeah.
but not when they played them.
Just lucky to
I think
draw
even
this year.
Pittsburgh. I think even Pittsburgh was rated at one time,
Yeah.
but not when Notre Dame played them. So that's 4 or 5 that you know they
Yeah.
were they were rated teams,
Yeah.
but not when they played. And so
It
that's
just
what
didn't,
hurt.
yeah, it just didn't work out this year for whatever reason.
Yeah.
It's not like Notre Dame can control that.
Yeah. Yeah.
But um, but yeah, the numbers. So that the numbers has Georgia 2, which I like. That makes sense. And Ohio State 3. I believe that's how it should be. Is Georgia 2. Anything else? I mean, what do you think about seeing Vanderbilt ranked number 9 on there? That's pretty interesting.
They lost to Alabama and Texas.
Yeah.
Those are not bad losses. Those are they were probably rated when they played them.
Yeah.
If I remember.
I mean, Vanderbilt, when's the last time Vanderbilt's been ranked, up that high at the end of the year?
Yeah, but again, I don't know the spread between these few teams, how much of a points difference it was without looking it up.
Yeah.
Um, but Vanderbilt played very, very good this year.
Mm-hmm.
Surprised a lot of people, and I mean, if you can knock off an Alabama, you've really done something.
Yeah. You got
So
Utah up there in the mix, BYU. So along with that, you said that it should be just the top 12 teams, the best 12. So are you saying that James Madison, because that's the issue that we get into then is James Madison and Tulane shouldn't be in,
right,
you know? So
right,
because that's the thing we wanted for a long time back in the day was like, man, if only an undefeated MAC team could get an opportunity to play in a playoff, you know what I mean? But you
this
get in
isn't,
there,
but this doesn't compare to me. This doesn't compare to basketball
yeah,
because there's 1,000 basketball teams. Okay,
yeah,
there's only 130 some football teams.
yeah,
So, I mean, you'd have to expand that tournament like the basketball did.
Yeah.
They're up to 68 now.
Yeah.
I mean, that would be like this being up to what, 20 or 24 or
I could get
40?
I could do 24. I think that would be fun.
Well, I think you got to be. I'm not sure. You may run out of time. Is the problem with that?
Yeah. You wouldn't really have a bye. You'd have to finish like get rid of the conference championships and start the
There
playoffs
you go. Yeah,
immediately.
yeah.
Yeah.
You'd have to do things like that in order to compensate for it. Yeah,
Yeah.
but I don't know. It's possible they could jump from 12 to 24. That's possible.
I think they'll probably go 16, but it might end up eventually at 24. But I like 12 right now. But conversations like this year with Notre Dame and with BYU and these different teams, they're gonna be pushing for 16. It's gonna keep going. There's gonna be keep pushing for more and more.
Yeah, and I don't have a problem with having more. Um,
Yeah,
the only thing that this has done, though, in my mind, um, it has completely destroyed the bowl game system.
yeah.
I mean, if you're not in the in this tournament, okay, then why are you even playing?
So, is there a way that we can take the bowls and just make them playoff games?
That's where I'm headed.
Yeah,
Exactly. Use the organizations that are already there, play the early games, you know,
yeah,
and make them worth something.
yeah,
No one wants to go to the ball games to see a couple of nobody plays.
yeah,
But you put them into a situation like this where they're part of the playoff system, they're going to go, oh yeah,
yeah. I mean, they do that. What the Rose Bowl, right? And
yeah,
these top. So make it all, and that's what we grew up on. Was the bowl games meant everything? The bowl games were huge, and that's
yeah,
what we want to get back to.
yeah. I mean, I do really like the home game stuff,
Uh huh.
but I'm afraid that we're going to lose all these bowl games and they're going to all die if we don't use them.
I'm okay with letting the home games go away. If
I
it
am.
brings back the bowl games,
Yes.
I'm okay with the Notre Dame thing was cool, the home playoff game,
Yep.
but um we need to save the bowl games, in my opinion. I agree with you on that.
Yeah. I mean, they're dying. I mean, you look at the crowds, they're nobody.
Yeah,
I mean, they're just nobody cares.
yeah,
And I mean, there's some decent money in some of these bowl games,
yeah,
and it would be worth it to use those um, in an expanded playoff system. I think it'd work great for the 24.
yes,
Yeah.
agree. And that's the thing about college football is it's built on tradition, and so you don't want to erode stuff. You want to keep the tradition strong. And that's a great take. Is that I do think the bowl games should be playoff games. There's no need to get rid of them. Make them more meaningful. Exactly.
Yeah, absolutely.
So. That'd be cool though. Imagine at the end of the year, you got one school that's like flexing, like we won three different bowl games.
Yeah, I mean that wouldn't well that isn't that a big draw to you?
Yeah, that's
Wouldn't
cool.
you love to be able to say you've done that?
Yeah,
And it would be possible for some of them.
yeah, that'd be
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah, and the fans would love it.
I think we're coming up with all kinds of good ideas on this show here.
Yeah, who do we talk to?
we let me get Joel Klatt or David Pollock on the phone.
Yeah, the right people have to hear it, don't they?
Well, that's going to cut it for this episode. Dean had to go. He had some internet issues, but great episode. We hope you guys enjoyed it. Don't forget to like, subscribe, leave a comment. Let us know what you think. Let us know if you agree with some of our takes and who's going to win the Natty and what we should do with bowl games, etc. So have a great week, guys, and peace out.